And as a Nigerian father, our understanding of love is different from the society we live here now. Because me growing up, going out to work and providing for the family is showing love to your family. Yeah. But children don't see it that way.
Hi everyone. I already messed up. I got nervous. No, don't. I'll just edit it. Hi everyone. My name is Queen, and today, Father's Day 2020, we are going to be interviewing both of our fathers. We're going to be asking them a few questions, and I hope you guys enjoy it. It's going to be me and my co-host, Ellen. So yeah, let's hear what they have to say. I hope you guys are ready to be honest and transparent and entertaining to give the people a good show. So let's get right into it. Alright, to get things started, let's do an introduction. Please tell us your name, where you're from, and how you would describe yourself.
Well, my name is Frank Ekajija. Call me Reverend Frank Ekajija. I'm originally from Nigeria, from Sapele.
Woo!
I'm an Okwe, the Okwe family of Sapele and Okwe local government.
And my name is Akin Oyeniyi.
Period.
Big money.
Okay.
Billionaire. Sorry.
I'm from Nigeria, Odeomo in Osun State.
Woo!
And I live here in Mesquite, US.
Okay. And let's go back to dad number one. How would you describe yourself?
Well, let's see. How do I describe myself? I am the chairman of NVC Fund Holdings, the Wealth Management Trust. I've been here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area since 1981. What else do you need to know?
That's it. That's how you would describe yourself for now. And dad number two?
To describe myself, I have a very humble beginning. I grew up in Nigeria and relocated when I was about age 33. Married to the love of my life, who is also the mother of my children. I have 4 kids who are fortunate to be here with me. And I'm just a fortunate person.
What are your 2 most memorable moments as a dad?
I think one of the most memorable moments as a dad was at the hospital when Quinn was born. I was there, and so that was definitely a memorable moment. And then when Quinn graduated from high school, she was student class president, and I was very sick that day, but I had to make it there in clutches. So those are some memorable moments. I said that I had to be there for her graduation, even though I was not supposed to be there, but I couldn't miss it for the world.
Dad number 2?
A lot of memorable moments, but one that's really a little funny was when my wife was pregnant for the first time. We didn't have the luxury of ultrasound, so we didn't know the sex of the baby, but I'd always wanted a girl. And I was back in college when my friend came to notify me that my wife just gave birth, and then I asked, was the baby a girl? And he said no. So even though I was happy, but because I loved my grandmother and wanted to name my first baby my grandmother's name, I had that little disappointment, but I was glad to have my first son, but I wanted a baby girl so bad, just because of the name.
That explains a lot. Is there anything else that anybody wants to share before we move on to the last section?
Yes, and I think the only thing I would like to add to that is when King was born, because I mean I did not. Your mom was very hesitant about having another baby because she was scared due to her health complication. But we talked it over and took some persuasion before the decision was made that she will take the risk. And so when King was born, that was a very happy moment for us. And so those are some very memorable times. So when I had King, I had Queen, and so my son it has to be King. So those are two significant names that I wanted to bestow upon my children so that they will have something to live up to. I wanted to give them a name that would inspire them to live and live by their name.
That's good to know, because a lot of people always ask, why did your parents name them? And that's the reason I give them, so it's just a confirmation.
Yes.
Maybe just a little fun experience when I was leaving Nigeria, and I was very sad I was going to leave my whole family behind, and just that my children then, they were very young, didn't have the knowledge of how deep the separation was going to be. I mean, I was crying and they didn't understand. That was very, the separation then was memorable. And funnily, my oldest child, TJ, just asked me to buy bread on my way. So that was, I remember that because it just showed that they had no knowledge that it was going to be a long separation.
Let's move on to the last section. What are 2 pieces of advice you would give to another dad, whether the dad is new or he's already has his children?
Let's start with dad number 2.
I don't think anybody trains to be a father. We all learn as we go along. And the advice that I will give to new fathers is just not to have a preconceived idea of what their children should be or what should happen in the lives of their children, to allow for growth and use other people's experience to guide them. Because if I look back, out of love, I saw a lot of mistakes I made raising my own kids. And as a Nigerian father, our understanding of love is different from the society we live here now. Because me growing up, going out to work and providing for the family is showing love to your family. Yeah. But children don't see it that way. And hopefully the children that are here right now, becoming fathers after us, will have a better understanding of what it means to express love to their children. But it's different. It's different if you grow up in Nigeria and you have to raise your kids here in America.
Your advice?
Well, my advice is, as much as possible, to strive to be there for your children at every opportunity that you can spend time with them. Is to always be there, and to give them room to grow, give them room to make mistakes while you pray that they'll make the best decision, because you allow them to explore so that they can fall, and you pick them up and clean them up and allow them to learn and open their vista so that they can grow as much as they can, because one day you will not always be there for them. They will have to be up on their feet. You can't think for them, but you have to guide them the best way you know how, and pray that God will give you and guide them along the way.
If I can just add to that, you know, as Nigerians, we always think failure is a bad thing. And we always try to guide, even go to the extent of manipulating our kids so they don't fail.
Yeah.
And it may turn out that we are really blocking their chances by trying to prevent them from exposing themselves to areas that we think they could fail. So I would advise Nigerians who are becoming fathers to, just like he said, give your children a chance to explore and be whatever they can be.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. So we have a bonus question for the fathers, and we'll start with Dad. Number one, what's the message you want to send to your kids right now?
What is the message I want to send to my kids?
Yes.
Well, I want my kids to know that I'm very proud of them, that I love them from the bottom of my heart, and that they always have my support. They can always talk to me. There's nothing too hard for them to share with me, because I give them unconditional love and support and guide them as much as I can. That I have a father. I have a Father in heaven, and I try to model the love of God to them as much as possible. So.
Thank you. Dad, number two.
I pretty much would love my children and all kids watching this to know that your parents are not going to be forever. Even if they feel like they look like they are comfortable, they are convenient, they still need your love. Try as much as possible to reach out. Your parents don't need your money, but they need the feelings of your presence every time. I try to give that to my mother as much as possible. And it's just my opinion that kids nowadays take parents for granted because they feel they don't have a need. Parents do have a need, and as they grow older, they look more towards their children for support, not financially, but for love. Apparently, it could be something we didn't give as much by your interpretations, but when people grow up, they need their children's support. And I hope children nowadays will know more than anything, older people need love from their children.
Well stated. Well stated. Because the parents are not going to they're not going to be needy. They're not going to show that they need it. They're always going to be strong.
Yeah. Especially Nigerian parents, we don't say.
But you all have to take the initiative to know that, hey, these are people that need love and support. Because we're far from home, see. Most of our family, if we were back home.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, everybody, and I'm from a very large family. My dad had 26 children. So you can imagine how large a family we are. So I would be surrounded with so many people.
Even when you don't have that, the whole village, the whole community, they take care of each other.
Yeah.
But here, you're on your own.
Especially for people like myself. The Okbes are very large. We're about 500,000 of us.
Wow.
From my great-grandfather, Okbe was his name. So we're a very large extended
family. And when
family.
you add that to your knees, it's even larger.
So we have two local governments. Sapele and Okbe local government are my...
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah, we have two local governments in that. We're the largest contiguous family in Delta State.
Wow.
Yeah. So every Okbe is related to one another.
That's nice.
We're blessed like that, and I'm grateful that Queen has a chance to meet. We have very many here in the United States, so I used to take her to all the conventions.
Family reunion events, okay.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you guys sharing. I hope that someone learned something from this or was inspired. I know that there's dads all over the world that are probably having a lot of the same feelings. So thank you for sharing your thoughts with the world.
If I can just say one final thing, I love to thank you all for this special birthday dinner.
Yes.
It was superb.
Yeah.
We had a lot to eat and drink, and even got a promise of money after that. So
yeah. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. We really appreciate you
for the special treatment.
Of course, anything for you.
Much love.
Thank you. Woo.